We're going to be taking a look at a video of the worst natural disaster in Canadian history. And this is the ice storm of 1998. Very, very curious to see what we got with this. Before we do, appreciate you guys clicking that subscribe button. And yeah, let's check out this ice storm.
Montreal, Canada. Its 3.5 million inhabitants are used to extremely severe winters.
Okay.
They have no choice, as bitterly cold temperatures and heavy snowfalls of as much as 15 inches at a time will bury the city. This city knows bad weather. But there is one kind of winter storm that is the toughest to beat. The ice storm.
Okay, this is the one.
Montreal's got its first forecast of freezing rain. This is all ice.
Jeez.
This is absolutely surreal. Look at this. Holy crap. Wow. Everything just gets covered in like centimeter thick layer of ice.
Just covered.
I went way further than I expected.
Wait, he's saying that's ice, but is that snow and then ice under? Or is the snow what I'm looking at ice?
Whoa. That is too satisfying.
Oh, driving on that would be a nightmare.
Ice storms are created by atmospheric
For a second, and I thought that was like a frozen lake, and I thought it was gonna fall in.
circumstances that are so unique, they seem impossible. Unlike New York, just 300 miles to the south, Montreal gets hit by freezing rain an average of 10 days per year.
Oh, really?
The reasons are location and geography. When warm air from the south meets cold northern air, this creates the ideal conditions above Montreal for extreme winter weather. And because Montreal lies in the midst of the St. Lawrence River Valley, the situation is intensified.
Okay.
As
So they get the
warm
worst.
air from the south rides up over the surrounding mountains, it traps the cold polar air in the valley below.
Oh, is that what happens? Interesting. So the cold is, traveling along, but the warm's there like, no, we're keeping you in this location. And then Montreal's right there, so it just gets hit. Wow.
As the warm air rises, it releases rain, which falls through the cold layer. The perfect amount of cold air then supercools the rain, causing it to be cold enough to freeze the moment it hits the ground.
What?
The longer these conditions remain, the more severe the...
That's actually really cool. Like, honestly, I've genuinely learned something because I didn't really know how that worked. I know you meant to learn it in school and that, but I must have missed that topic.
weather becomes. So if the perfect ice storm were to strike, it would begin on a January day in the skies above Montreal.
Right, okay.
It's just surreal. Like, the entire city is coated with ice.
You know what? I've actually never ever in my life seen like ice cones like this. Like, we get cold days in the UK, but we don't get this. Do you know what I mean?
This is honestly so much fun.
Ice storms are not unusual in Canada, coating the landscape with a beautiful shroud of ice.
Ice formation generally ranges from a trace to 1 inch in accumulation.
Right.
But in January 1998, Canada was hit by a storm that was anything but usual.
Wow.
In 1998, Montreal suffered the most disastrous, tragic, and expensive ice storm in recorded history.
Wow.
Even for people who grew up in Canada in the eastern part of the country, where winter they take pretty much for granted, have never seen anything quite like this.
The damage here is staggering.
Montreal seems like a city truly under siege tonight as thousands of troops move in on a mission of mercy. In Quebec alone, more than 1 million households, that's up to about 3 million people, left without electricity.
1 million households without electricity. It's like the apocalypse. It genuinely is. You guys was living through an apocalypse.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. I never would imagine that something like this could happen.
Wait, I'm assuming like the roads was very, very, very icy. How were, like, I know this video was actually recommended by a viewer of mine who lived through this, and I assume a lot of people watching this lived through this. How did you guys go about with like getting groceries and stuff like that?
I'm freaking out.
The 98 ice storm was Canada's worst natural disaster, affecting over 5.4 million people.
Wow.
Or 1/5 of the country's population.
Wow.
Virtually no one east of Ottawa has power tonight.
1/5 of the population is a lot. 1/5 is crazy.
The storm blanketed an area larger than the state of Florida, 120 miles by 600 miles.
This is the largest storm event in NYSEG's history. We suffered damage to our electric lines to the tune of about 1,850 miles. One of our engineers equated to a trip from here to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Over 5 days.
Wait, I'm trying to think, right? So, you know the storm, is it high winds? Like, how were I'm seeing so much damage, right? With this storm, is it just like, well, what is knocking them over here? Is it the just crazy winds?
New Mexico.
Over 5 days, multiple layers of ice built up because of the relentless freezing rain that weighed down everything it touched.
Over 5
During
days.
the ice storm, in a 5-day period, we had 80 hours of freezing rain that produced 100 millimeters of ice. That's a lot of ice all at one time.
Eventually, the city's infrastructure began to collapse.
When you saw electrical...
Wait. Did that fall because it's like frozen and it's done, it is weakened the structure? Is that why that just fell over?
Pylon suddenly buckle in front of your eyes. You knew right away this was going to be major,
oh my God.
It's a total write-off. I mean, we're not talking a repair job. It's a total rebuild.
4 million people lost power.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
A devastating scene across the Champlain Valley and beyond. Thick ice, more than 3 inches in some spots.
Hold up, look at this, man. Look at this. This is like the Ice Age all over again. I know I don't know what the Ice Age was like because I wasn't there with the dinosaurs, but like this is like the start of it, dude.
A devastating scene across the Champlain Valley and beyond. Thick ice.
Like this, bro. Look at this.
More than 3 inches in some spots, coating everything.
Over 17 million acres of forest were damaged in northern New England and upstate New York. Some trees carried 40 times their weight in ice.
Wow.
And across the border, they were devastated. Montreal got hit.
Oh, that's why they're falling over, because the ice that's on them is very heavy as well.
Hit hard.
Montrealers were burning the wood off their front porches and fireplaces in some cases that hadn't been used for 50 years.
And we saw an incredible sight, these huge power lines that people see driving from the border north to Montreal. Just absolutely
bent right over.
Amazing sight.
And Quebec stayed that way for quite a while.
After the storm...
Oh, yeah, I can imagine it. 4 million people lost electricity. Just think about how many of these power lines actually went down. Do you know what I mean? That will take a while to rebuild.
1,000 kilometers of power lines were destroyed.
Oh, wait.
After the storm, 3,000 kilometers of power lines were destroyed at a cost of over $800 million.
The economic impact of the storm has been devastating.
800, wait, and that's just in power lines? $800 million in damages for power lines.
Insurance companies now estimate they'll pay homeowners $500 million to repair their property,
wow,
making this the most expensive natural disaster in Canadian history.
Wow, we're going into the billions. The week Montreal went dark, okay. I bet this was terrifying. It seems so warm though. The sun's out. Normally when it's like really cold in the UK, like yeah, the sun will be out, right? The sun don't go away. But like it's very cloudy and very gloomy. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of clouds in the UK, so I don't know. It's interesting seeing Canada being so cold with like clear skies.
The sound of snapping branches and power lines, something that few will ever forget.
We could hear the trees crashing. It sounded like thunder. Some sounded like gunshots. We could hear them just crunching and crashing and going down. My wife and I just sat there and we didn't know what to do.
In Pakenham, west of Ottawa. Listen, and you'll hear a forest dying.
Wow.
Like gunfire, the sound of maples falling.
Aww.
This is really tough to see.
Oh, it's awful.
Shirley Fulton's family has been running this sugar bush for 150 years. You shouldn't be able to see the sky here. It'll take 40 or 50 years for the bush to recover.
Meteorologists have called the storm a 100-year event. But what...
Wait, what was that before?
Years for the bush to recover. You shouldn't be able to see the sky here. It'll take 40 or 50 years for the bush to recover.
So I'm assuming that like these branches right here, it was just covered in green. And they're saying it's going to take 40, 50 years for that to be back how it was. Wow.
Meteorologists have called the storm a 100-year event. But what many people don't realize is that it may take that long for our forests to recover.
Wow.
Mother Nature doesn't really make rational choices. It can hit anywhere.
I wonder what it looks like today, because it's been about, what, 1998? So, yeah, it's been 27 years.
Affect anyone, and kill people, injure people, ruin livelihoods without, the blink of an eye. You really appreciate the power of nature and the power of weather. And ultimately, no matter how much technology we have, no matter how equipped we are, no matter how prepared we are, people will always be profoundly affected by weather.
Oh yeah, that's facts. That's facts. It don't matter. Like, unless we go to different planets and we can go there just like that, right? Do you know what I mean? Or like we've all got bunkers, dude, and an underground system. Then again, we might still get messed up. But yeah, Mother Nature can mess us up in any way.
Days out from a storm, it's hard to predict exactly what'll happen. But in early January 1998, we saw dangerous conditions headed our way.
This is rain. This is rain that means business.
And we knew it was going to be bad.
You're going to have a major icing problem.
The way it visited itself upon us, it creeped in. It was a couple of days of just that
January 4th,
little bit of
1998.
rain, little bit, almost mist.
Yeah.
It was just this slow, silent build up until we realized that we were in deep trouble.
It was Monday, January 5th, 1998. Quebecers going
This is day one.
Back to school and work after the holidays. It wasn't a very nice day.
Too much ice. The ice is terrible. All over the place.
Dave Bronstetter, this is Daybreak on CBC Radio 1940 in Montreal. If you do not have to go out, do not. Unless it is absolutely necessary, stay home.
Highways become skating rinks.
Oh my god, no. This is terrifying, bro. Nah, I wouldn't go out. I don't even care. Like, if I need to go get groceries, I'm gonna have to walk. Which will be dangerous in itself as well.
Absolutely necessary, stay home.
Look at the highway.
Highways become skating rinks, and back roads, bobsled runs.
Yo!
Almost 15,000 trees in Montreal are broken or down. Dozens of streets are closed. Power lines ripped to the ground. Homes and cars damaged.
As I walked up, I said, oh, lucky me, the back windshield has no ice on it. And I got a little closer to find out that I didn't have a back windshield. I don't have much of a front windshield.
The city tries to clean up the mess. Mother Nature keeps making the mess bigger.
The worst neighborhood are definitely NDG, Maisonneuve, and Rosemont.
This is literally like just weather destroying Canada. This is insane. Like, the UK, we just don't get any extreme weather like this. I wonder if even in history we've had something like as bad as this.
Late that afternoon, the city opens 2 shelters for people who have no power and need help.
Aww.
Then, the real power of the storm hits during the afternoon.
So much ice fell that 8 high-voltage power lines crumbled like toothpicks, their cables strewn across a busy highway near Drummondville. Hydro workers have never seen it so bad.
About 400,000 homes are without electricity. More than 600 crews are working to restore power. Here's a look at the area affected by the storm.
Okay.
A region that stretches from in and around Ottawa to Montreal and up the south shore of the St. Lawrence.
We haven't seen anything remotely like this since about February of 1961. We got about 50 millimeters worth of ice. Today, we're getting there. We have about 18 millimeters on the ground, on the cars, on the trees.
Darren Solomon, our reporter.
And this is just all in day one still.
Outside right now to fill us in with some more information. Darren, what's the latest Hydro says about how many customers are without power?
In all of Quebec, 755,000 homes without electricity. In Montreal, on the island, we're talking about nearly 250,000 homes.
Wow.
Does Hydro have any new estimate about when people will be getting their power back?
They still say it could take about 3 or 4 days.
The forecast for that night and for the next day, Tuesday, January 6th, was for...
The thing is, like, if this lasted 5 days, surely it just kept preventing getting the power back. Like, surely you can't get it back until it's all cleared up, or nearly.
Freezing rain. But that forecast didn't say 4 days of freezing rain. It didn't say the ice storm of the century that's going to turn your lives upside down. But that's what we got.
That's horrible.
This is a look back when the triangle of darkness descended on the South Shore and when the ring of power around Montreal broke down. This is day 2 of the ice storm crisis in Montreal. The freezing rain has started again. There are still 500,000 homes in the southern part of Quebec that do not have electricity.
Command Central at Hydro-Quebec. Workers have been dispatching crews around the clock, trying to deal with one of the biggest blackouts in Quebec history.
So the branches are falling all over the place. They're breaking the wires. We're putting them back up 2 hours after alarms go off, and it just went down again.
Hydro wasn't the only outfit on the road. The city's crews were scrambling to stay on top of the mess.
Hey, shout out to all the workers in every single sector during, like, you know, horrible events like this, right? Natural disasters or any even kind of event, because like they literally are so stressed and put in so much work just to get us back on our feet. Do you know what I mean? But that's crazy. Like, the people living there, no power. You're gonna have to have, like, I don't even know how, like, you make, honestly, like, in today's world in 2025, us going down with no power. Maybe people in the 1998 was a little bit more prepared without power. But imagine like something like this now. I genuinely don't know what I would do. Like, I don't even, like, how would you even eat? What do you even eat? How do you even cook? Do you like, did you cook on like fire? Did you just eat like packets of stuff? And then like just candles everywhere. I don't even own this is, you know what? I know UK don't get crazy or whatever, but this literally makes me, when I watch stuff like this, and like with COVID that happens as well, right? That happened. It makes me low-key want like a room in my house where I'm like stocked up. Because you never know when it's going to hit.
Apartments were evacuated. People had used propane-powered generators to stay warm and ended up poisoned by carbon monoxide fumes.
Oh, no. No.
It's not just Canada that's being hampered and hammered by these winds and bad weather. The northeastern United States is also being battered very hard by this storm.
Well, the power went off at about 9 o'clock, and then we didn't pay too much attention to it. But we had in the back of our mind the trouble in Canada. They're without power, and this big storm coming with all the ice. What are we going to do? So we started thinking we got to look up a generator.
Up along the Canadian border.
Honestly, I'm actually just sat here right now seeing all this and realizing how screwed I actually will be. Because I don't even, how do you even work a generator? Where do you even get a generator from? Is it a generator you just keep pulling? Where do you even connect? Like, I've got no survival skills whatsoever, man. I'd literally need the internet. And what if the internet's down?
In the tiny hamlet of Perry's Mills, there's already ice. But at this point, the ice is more spectacle than disaster.
Right.
This is gonna sound awful, but at first it was kind of exciting because you've never seen anything like this, and you would run from one window to the next and go, oh my God. But then it got terrifying.
North of the border, an eerie preview of what's coming. Trees crashing through cars. More than 500,000 Hydro-Quebec customers in the dark.
This is News Channel 5 at 6.
By the 6 o'clock news, Tom Messner is starting to sound the alarm.
You're going to have a major icing problem. That's what we're thinking about.
Waiting for the day's second computer model.
When I saw that one, I was really concerned because you could see that this was something we hadn't dealt with probably ever.
Overnight, trees and poles weighted down with ice will come crashing down, and the number of people without power and without heat will suddenly skyrocket. What started out as a nasty winter storm is becoming a full-fledged natural disaster.
Jeez.
It's day 3 of the ice storm, and everything in Montreal is covered. Over an inch of ice has...
The thing is, you know how like this is all ice? You know when it does warm up afterwards, would it just turn into like a flood? You know, because there's so much ice and then it just turns water.
Accumulated as the continuous freezing rain smothers the city.
Day 3 of Quebec's ice storm crisis. More than 1 million households and businesses across southwestern Quebec mainly are now without power and in many cases heat. The big hit today is on the South Shore from Chateauguay and Beauharnois all the way to Boucherville down to Granby, 560,000 plus.
It actually does look like I'm watching a scene to the movie. Yeah, like there's a movie. Oh, what is it called? It's about like a twister, but what is it called? Maybe you guys know. Oh, someone commented. I forgot what it's called. It's about a twister, but like everywhere around them is just freezing cold and it's all snow and stuff. Like there's ships frozen. Oh man, what is it called? Is it just called? No, it's not just called Twister.
Hydro customers out. What kind of deadline are you holding out for people when things might come back to semblance of normal?
Well, I think it would be realistic not to expect power for a few more days. Some people will be out of power until next week.
Wow.
Hydro crews are overwhelmed. The federal government sent in hundreds of Canadian Forces personnel to help out, but nobody can stop this ice storm.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you can't even stop it. You can't do anything to, like, you know, prevent this. You pretty much gotta do your best to maintain it a little bit.
And to help get the power back on, Hydro is calling in reinforcements from the United States.
Hi. How you doing? Good. I've never seen a sea like this here. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Everywhere, trees are breaking, power lines are falling.
Wow.
More and more people are going into the dark.
The situation with power outages on the West Island is changing by the hour, forcing some shelters to close. So if you need a place to stay, call your city hall first and find out what's available.
Oh my God, I can't imagine the stress and the panic of people going from shelter to... Oh, man.
The Aquatic Center in Point Claire will be home to more than 200 people tonight. Residents have to sign up to secure a bed. The shelter is providing food, even entertainment for the kids. It's operating at full capacity, and city officials fear the situation will only get worse.
And this is all people with damage to their homes or lost power, where, you know, they're pretty much freezing.
Going into the fourth day, more and more people give up and head for the shelters.
With no power, it takes less than 72 hours for the temperature of an unheated house to drop dangerously low. And this is when people are more susceptible to unseen dangers.
Oh no.
The brain stops functioning well. You became less able to use your muscles.
The feeling of overwhelming tiredness hits, causing you to fall into what could become a deadly sleep.
The story is we are stuck.
What? And that's just like being in your house? Even with like clothes on and stuff? Like, oh yeah, but I suppose like you could put fires up, but then like what if you can't? Do you know what I mean? Oh man, no, this is horrible.
With this freezing rain and these ice pellets for at least another 24 hours.
By the end of the third day, the storm has taken a firm hold on the city.
Look at that.
I hope the worst is over. Me too.
But for the people of Montreal, the worst is yet to come.
It gets
worse. The city becomes mummified as it's wrapped tightly in layers of ice. All forms of transportation start to become immobilized. Street by street, parts of the city are now plunged into darkness. But this ice storm is far from over.
Yo, this is honestly, like, I know I've said it a couple of times, but this is apocalypse. Like, this is like, if I was in this situation, I'd be thinking, geez, man, like, is this the end of the world?
Can't go through this route. Grand Isle County's pretty much closed down.
The battle against power outages is a losing one. Since last night, the number of people without power in the Champlain Valley has multiplied 10 times.
Well, it's not just the trees and the ice and the wires. Now we have flooding occurring.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Lewinsky is running hot.
See, that's what I thought. Like, the flooding will happen as well when it does happen to melt. And then, yeah, they're just getting battered. Like, honestly, it's just Mother Nature absolutely battering you.
But the real concern is along the Ausable and the Missisquoi, which is starting to dam up with a mangled mess of trees, branches, and huge chunks of ice.
I've lived here all my life, and this is the first time we've ever seen it up this high. I mean, even in the spring when it gets really bad, this was worse than it's ever been.
Jeez.
Well, this storm is like none that we've ever seen here in the Champlain Valley. It is bad in the Champlain Valley, but it is worse in other places.
Yeah, they're having a lot of problems, as you probably know by now. North of the border, 1 million Canadians have no power, and they've been dealing with this ice since Monday now.
The freezing rain poured down again all night long. When Quebecers woke up Friday morning, more of them were without electricity than ever, and things were about to get worse.
worse. I absolutely can't believe how crazy this disaster is. We are going to watch day 4 and day 5, and apparently it gets a lot worse. So really interested to see how much worse it can get. We will do that in the second part. I'll leave a link in this description and that. Yeah, this storm is absolutely insane, and the second part is going to be even crazier. I don't even know what to expect with it getting much worse than this, but yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm sure you guys got a lot of story about this storm. I'm sure a lot of you guys was experiencing it as well. If you guys enjoyed this one, make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.